Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are digging into a pretty chilling question. What is the true nature of evil? We're going to do this by comparing two very different kinds of monsters, one from old folklore and one born right inside the human heart, to figure out what we should truly be afraid of.
So let's just dive right in, Here's the core question that really frames everything we're about to explore. When you think of horror, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it the supernatural, all the things that go bump in the night, or is it something much, much closer to home?
You see, the whole idea we're unpacking here draws a really clear line in the sand. It suggests that one type of monster is an external force, something that just kind of hijacks a physical body. But the other? That's an inside job. It's a corruption that grows from within, right from a person's own soul.
Okay, so let's get into our tale of two demons. We're going to start with the one that seems supernatural, but, well, might have a perfectly logical explanation. And then we'll turn to a horror that's born entirely from human emotion. So on one hand, you've got the reanimated corpse. It's a classic horror trope, right? Something that's dead, but it moves. And on the other hand, we've got the vengeful human, a person so completely consumed by hatred that they literally become a monster themselves. All right, let's kick things off with the demon we think we know, the one straight out of folklore that seems to just totally defy the laws of nature. This brings us to a really fascinating belief from Vietnamese folklore called nhập, tràng. And it describes a truly terrifying scene, a corpse that just suddenly moves as if it's possessed. But here's the key thing in this legend. The being has no mind of its own. It's just a puppet, an empty vessel being animated by some outside force. It's a fear so powerful it literally shaped rituals for the dead for generations. I mean, it's a scary image, for sure, no doubt about it. But what happens when we look past the folklore and start asking a different kind of question? What if the explanation for this isn't paranormal at all? So here's the wild part. It turns out plain old biology can create the illusion of something absolutely terrifying. As a body decomposes, gases build up inside it. All that pressure can cause muscles to twitch and contract, completely involuntarily. So, to somebody watching, it literally looks like the corpse is trying to sit up. I mean, can you imagine seeing that without any modern scientific knowledge? Of course you'd think it was a demon. It just goes to show you, so often our biggest fears are just born from not understanding what's really happening.
So the really crucial point here is that this first demon, the reanimated corpse, it kind of loses its power once we shine a light on it. It's not some evil spirit. It's a natural process that our ancestors, understandably, tried to explain using superstition.
Okay, so let's switch gears because this is where things get way more disturbing. We're moving on to a different kind of monster. This one isn't found in a coffin, it's born in the depths of a human heart. And we see this in the tragic story of Tiết Cương. And this is where our second story kicks off. It doesn't start with death. It starts with a very, very human emotion, love. Or maybe more accurately, a love that's rejected and then left to fester until it turns into something truly poisonous. And this timeline just lays out the whole horrifying transformation. It all starts with obsession. Then, that obsession, when it's rejected, it doesn't just go away. No, it twists and morphs into this curse of pure hatred. This hatred becomes so powerful, so all-consuming, that it actually fuels a new life. He's reborn as Tiết Cương, and his only purpose is to systematically destroy an entire family from the inside out.
And that is the absolutely terrifying difference. This demon isn't some mindless puppet. It's a fully conscious, intelligent person, carrying a grudge from one life into the next with one single destructive goal. It walks, talks, and thinks just like anyone else, which of course makes it infinitely more dangerous. So now that we've met both of our monsters, let's bring them together for the final verdict. Which one of these truly gets to the heart of what we should fear?
When you lay it all out like this, the contrast is just chilling. Look at the origins. One is basically misunderstood biology. The other is pure hatred and obsession. One is mindless, a puppet, while the other is completely aware and calculating every move. The impact? The corpse demon gives you a momentary shock, but the human demon? That brings about destruction that lasts for generations. The threat isn't just physical, it's the complete psychological and existential destruction of a family.
And really, that's the bottom line, isn't it? A twitching corpse might make you jump out of your skin for a second, but a person driven by an all-consuming hatred, well, they can methodically and patiently dismantle everything you and your family have ever built. The real threat isn't that momentary scare, it's the calculated, long-term campaign of total ruin.
And that just leaves us with this final, kind of haunting thought to chew on. Maybe the greatest horrors aren't the ones that defy the laws of nature, but the ones that are created within them, inside a human heart that just refuses to let go of its pain and its hate. Makes you think, doesn't it?